Opinion: Carlos the Jackal's violent chaos endures. An article from the New York Times brings up the old mastermind now wedged in a cell. In a guarded visitor's lounge, former Washington Post national security reporter Joby Warwick sits across from Carlos, officially Ilich Ramirez Sanchez, who mutters, "I should have killed a few more people." That infamous terrorist once racked up bombs, kidnappings, and a lavish lifestyle that fed the imaginations behind dozens of Hollywood movies. But the type of terror Carlos pioneered is not fading, it's simply changing its tools. Unlike the purely religious or ideological campaigns of Al-Qaeda, the new wave is transactional. Governments from Moscow to Tehran hire criminals who sign contracts in encrypted social media groups for covert attacks against geopolitical enemies. Analysts are calling this the violent gig economy. Western law enforcement has traced roughly 300 such outsourced operations since 2022, the year Russia launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine and after Moscow fired off the 2023 Hamas attack on Israel. Investigators find almost all of those cases linked back to Russian or Iranian security services, using independent operators that range from petty thieves to Russian mobsters, cybercriminals, drug cartel members, and human traffickers. These individuals, sometimes called disposables, can be paid a few $100s for a job, yet many are seasoned professionals. The crimes cover a terrifying spectrum. In Britain, arson attacks mark signal need, an arson attack targeting UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer this past spring is among them. Synagogues have been bombed, journalists and dissident voices hunted, Jewish community leaders targeted, and even politicians in the crosshairs. The New York-based Iranian activist Masih Alinejad became the most recent high-profile prey, when a Brooklyn pipefitter and convicted murderer meeting an Iranian agent in prison was recruited to carry out an assassination attempt. Security policy experts at the Sofan Center, a non-profit that studies emerging threats, insist that the majority of perpetrators in Iranian and Russian-sponsored attacks today are of this hired criminal variety. They are armed, experienced, and adept at staying invisible in the shadows. The case of Carlos shows a pattern that is frighteningly consistent: a well-equipped, well-paid crew, directed from above, executing violence with almost impunity. The resurgence of this form of terrorism hints at something deeper: modern governments leveraging the anonymity of digital platforms to outsource violence. In a world where rogue operators can be matched to a mission in minutes, the old adages of accountability in law take new meaning. That familiar rage, once channeled through elaborate plots, now lives in a hidden economy that might be even harder to dismantle. Thank you for listening.